Hello and welcome to the Code Clarity podcast. I'm Jean.
And I'm Rena, and today we're going to be talking about the results of a recent poll that we ran on LinkedIn, asking the question all around the QR codes implementation and whether prescribing information should be now banned or not.
Okay, so just to step back a little minute. So prescribing information is obviously the summary of the important elements of the SPC. It's a requirement in the code, and the code sets out exactly what should be in the prescribing information, and that needs to be provided every time you have a promotional piece of material. And just the code update last year allowed for the first time that you could access that prescribing information through a QR code, so people could scan it and go to the prescribing information. And I guess what's interesting about this is that the code already allows for the information in the prescribing information to be provided by linking to an SPC, but you need additional information as well to meet the requirements of the prescribing information.
So maybe if we just tell everybody what the poll was and what the questions were. Really, the poll was just asking people, now that the code's been changed to allow these QR codes, do we think it could go one bit further? And we recognise from all the cases that Jean and I read, there's a lot of compliance risk associated with PI. Either it's lack of content, or it's location, or it's missing, or the link's broken, or blah, 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 blah. So the question is, should we just get rid of PI? Wouldn't that solve a lot of compliance risk?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that given that all the information's in the SPC, then, and actually if you need to look at that more detailed information, don't you want to just see the full thing? Do you want to really see a summary? I'm not sure how often healthcare professionals would just base a prescribing decision on the prescribing information, or if they wanted that extra information, wouldn't they go and read the SPC anyway?
I'd like to see that evidence. I'm sure someone's got it somewhere, but like a straw poll of HCPs. Now, Jean, you and I actually voted slightly differently on the poll, so good for everyone to understand where we're coming from. You said that you would like the QR code to remain on materials, but link to the SPC, which is kind of allowed now anyways. So what's your thinking behind why that's a good move?
I just think from a user perspective, you know, if you're looking at something and you go, oh, I would quite like to go and see a bit more detail on this and check out whatever, then it's just easier to just click a link or scan something and go straight to where you need to go, and not then have to go, let's type up EMC and then let's search for that thing. So it's purely from a user perspective. For that busy HCP, it's the quickest way for them to go straight to where they need to go to.
Understood. So that's 60% of the voters agreed with you on that point. 25% believed, as I do, that HCPs can look up the SPC directly. So notwithstanding everything that you've just said about ease and convenience, because those are important points, there is an acknowledgement that once we're putting QR codes onto material, there's an acknowledgement that our readers, our customers, the HCPs are already digitally savvy. They've already got a phone or a mobile that they're accessing. And that makes the argument of, having to access things through a code a little bit redundant, because they have got direct access to the internet anyway. So I guess, as my usual, I'm kind of pushing for a little bit more radical in order to maybe negotiate on something in the middle. But what would your top tip be to people who are thinking about using a QR code to link to the SPC?
Well, just make sure, because at the moment you still need to have the legal category and the price to meet the requirements of that prescribing information. So if you are going to use the QR code to link to the SPC, then you have to make sure that those two parts, the legal category and the price, is somewhere either on the material itself or adapted the SPC to include those as well.
Brilliant. And the whole point really is that there is nothing stopping anyone from implementing that change right now. Right now, you're allowed 60%, you're all allowed to have that QR code going to the SPC.
Thank you.
Jean. Thanks. Bye.